This is my 1990 Volkswagen Doka with a Subaru 2.2 liter engine, EJ22. And I wanted to go over the AC install. I just wrapped up on it. It is a 32,000 BTU system. I purchased it from Alibaba. It's available in other places. You can get them on eBay, Mercado Libre here in Mexico. They're around $1,000 for the kit. These will definitely not fit under your Vanagon dash. And so this is really not a feasible system for regular Vanagons. This works in the Doka because you've got this big bench seat. And for me, the trade-off in losing the space under the bench seat for AC is well worth it. The temperatures here in the summertime are 110, 115, and can be humid too. And so I really needed something so that I could use this, 5-6 months out of the year when it's really, really hot. So again, it was worthwhile for me to lose this space under here. Here's a look at that evaporator and the blower motor fans, the blower motors. These are the relays. One is for the compressor on the engine, which I'll show you, for the fan, for the compressor, which we're using the stock Vanagon fan, and then for the evaporator unit itself. Receiver dryer, punch hole in the floor, and ran the hoses under, both up to the compressor, back to the compressor, up to the condenser. And here's a look at the Subaru 2.2 engine, and custom fabricated some brackets so that this AC compressor will fit. And it does, fits great. I had, all I have on my Doka is, well, before all I had was an alternator. It did not have either AC or power steering. It still does not have power steering, which I'm fine with. If I were going to add power steering to this, which, maybe I will someday, I'd probably go electric power steering, just to keep it simple. So yeah, this is what it looks like in the back. The hose is running. I would like to figure out a way to secure these a little bit better, but for now they're kind of resting on the tank here, and I think it's okay. But I might have to have a bracket, kind of like what was used for the what the heck is that called? The fire extinguisher system. Might have something like that made so that I can hang it up here. And then at the front of the Doka, behind the grill, you can see this is a universal AC condenser that we used, and in conjunction with the radiator fan up here, seems to work really well. Then here up at the dash, these are the controls. So this controls the temperature. It's how often the compressor is on or off. So where it's at now, it's labeled for city use. The compressor is always on, and that's good because it's a huge amount of current that it's pulling. And when the system switches on and off, it's a big load on the system. And if you're driving around town and you come to a stop and it kicks on, it could stall it. So that's I like having this functionality. Then when you're on the highway and that's not such a big deal because you're going at a constant speed, you can turn it down a little bit so the compressor kicks on and off. There's there's 3 speeds for the fan and off. And I have the fans blowing right to the front in the center. So it's quite loud when I turn on the van. I wanted to explain everything before I did that. I'm going to turn it on now. You can hear the high-speed fan is on, and I'll kind of show you around so you can see how everything is looking and working. going to shut it off. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. I have very few miles on this so far, so I can't speak to how long this is going to last, the quality, all that kind of stuff, what other issues I might run into. I can't speak to any of that yet, so I'm not recommending this system yet. It's working fantastic right now, but that's not an indication that it always will. This is these are the things that you kind of deal with when you're trying things new that haven't been done before. As far as I know, nobody's done any kind of system like this in a Doka. It would probably work well in other Dokas with a similar setup, but again, probably not in a regular Vanagon. It's just too big of a AC system for a regular Vanagon. After I recorded that last thing saying I don't think it'll work for a regular Vanagon, I actually thought to myself, you know, it would probably fit under a Westy rear seat. Well, actually under regular Vanagon rear bench seat. I haven't measured it. That might be a good way to go for some people, assuming it fits. This is a way larger and more powerful system than, for example, the vintage air systems that a lot of people put in the dash. As far as I can tell from my research, those are like 12, 14,000 BTUs. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is 32,000. So this is a lot more powerful. And even if it was in the back of your van, like the stock system, it should still be pushing air pretty well up to the front. So am I going to try that? I don't think so right now, but somebody wants to try it, go right ahead.